So, Mr. Mayor, the pension fund for New York is going to divest from fossil fuels. It's a move of yours. But obviously, fossil fuel stocks are doing quite well. And we'll probably go further with this tax bill. And the job of the pension bill is to provide pensions. So at what point are you taking away from the ability of the pension bill to actually do well for the pensioners by making it a tool of political activism for values that you support and many New Yorkers support, obviously?
Nick, it's a fundamental question. Whenever you look at pensions, you have to think about the people we're here to protect, our retirees. And our fiduciary responsibility comes up front. But you know what? If you're playing the long game in investments, fossil fuels don't make a lot of sense. You're talking about an industry whose reserves, whose resources, a lot of us believe will never be tapped, will never be utilized in large measure. It's not a great long-term investment because the world rightfully is more and more moving away from fossil fuels. Now look, our national government, unfortunately, is moving in the wrong direction. Donald Trump took us out of the Paris Agreement and is obviously encouraging further oil exploration at the very time when so much of the world is saying, no, we have to go the other way. That's why New York City acted, too. We need to show that the local level, we're going to go and address the challenge of climate change, even if our national government isn't. And this is what you're seeing around the country more and more. New York is trying to provide real leadership in this. We were definitive in a way, bluntly, few other jurisdictions have been. We said we will be out of fossil fuels. We will divest fully in the next 5 years. We don't think it's a good investment. We think it's bad for the earth. We think it's causing the climate change that afflicts coastal cities like New York. There's no question there are other quality investments we can make. But if we're going to jolt this dependence we have on fossil fuel, we have to do something differently. And that's also why we're suing 5 of the biggest petroleum companies, because like the tobacco companies some years ago, they understood this crisis. They tried very intently to cover up the information about climate change and to project different, a propaganda campaign suggesting that climate change wasn't real and go ahead and keep using your fossil fuels. They damaged our society. In a city like New York, that's meant billions and billions of dollars of damage, for example, from Hurricane Sandy. So the local level, we have to act now, especially because our national government is not. And in New York, we decided to be bold. We decided to double down on addressing climate change and on doing things like neighborhood policing because our federal government's not leading in these areas, so we have to take the lead.